It's 18th October 2025 and we are going to discuss Paripurna current affairs through mind maps. Today also we will discuss 7 important articles. 6 article as you see. The 7th article would be the role of India and China, role of India plus China in global governance. This will be the mains lens, that is the mains related topic we are going to discuss today. So let's discuss the first article, which is related to the Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Herbs. See, this topic is important from the prelims point of view. In the mains, you can use this concept or as a value addition in some questions related to agriculture especially, or the food safety related questions. Now, what is the context? First, let's understand. The context is that eighth session of this committee, that is the Codex Committee on Spices and the Culinary Herbs, has taken place where? In Assam, Guwahati. See, this is not important that the 8th session happened in which place. This kind of question UPSC does not ask. This is just a context. You don't need to remember the this place and session number. Okay. But underlying concept related to this particular article becomes very important for the prelims point of view. The first important thing which is important is that what are the key takeaways from this session? Okay, let's make the mind map. That is, we will discuss about the this CCSCH. Okay, CCSCH. Here we will discuss multiple things. First of all, we need to know what are the outcomes of this 8th meeting. See, outcomes are multiple. As you know, most of the these meetings takes place. They discuss about the what further can be done, and since this is related to spices, right? Spices, and you know India is a very a kind of hub for the spice production. Spices are the agricultural commodity. Now climate change is going on. So the climate change impact this spices production and productivity. So in such meetings, they will be discussing how to tackle the climate change in order to adapt to the changing climate, so that the productivity of the spices can be ensured, right? So such thing has been discussed, but the key thing is that they have finalized some standards. Standards finalization. Standards for what? Standards for basically what should be the quality of the spices. For example, if we take the example of pepper, so what kind of the constituents should be there, what should be the size, shape, and other aspect they can discuss, especially in terms of trade, global trade. If you want to have the trade with the spices, what kind of standard you need to establish in order to have the global acceptance of that particular product. So that is the key objective, and the standards has been decided during this particular meeting. So that is the outcome. So much detailing is not required from our prelims or even from the mains point of view. Now, if you see this kind of outcome, how it is important for India, significance for India. If you see the significance, it's very, very significant. Why? Because India is one of the largest producer and the exporter of the spices. If we talk about the specific spice, for example, coriander, cardamom, large cardamom and coriander, India is the largest leading exporter and the producer. India is the largest producer and exporter for what? Large cardamom and the coriander. So if the standards are getting fixed, so Indian products export can increase. So that way it will be helpful for the growth in the export. So it can increase the export. If the export is increasing, two things will happen. One is that the farmer income is going to increase. Second is that since export is increasing, it will increase our forex reserve and decrease current account deficit. So that way economically it's very helpful, right? Next, as you know that the UPSC asks questions on what? on the institutions. Here, three important institutions are involved. One is the Codex Alimentarius. What is Codex Alimentarius? See, this is a international food standard body. This is what? International food standard body. That means this body establishes the standards of the food so that we can ensure the quality and the safe food for the people to consume. Now you tell me in the comment box which institution in India ensures the food standards. Comment the name of that institution in the comment box. Okay. Now this is International Food Standard Body. Who established it? It is established jointly by FAO, that is the United Nations Food Agriculture Organization, and the WHO, World Health Organization. They jointly established in 1963. This year is not important, but this is very important. We need to remember which organization have established it. Okay. India is one of the member. Is India member? Yes. India is one of the member country of this particular organization. Total out of 189 members. Third thing, India is a member. However, the standards set by the Codex about the different food products are non-binding. This is also very important. They can make it like is it binding or not? It's not binding. Okay. Next, within this institution, that is the Codex Alimentarius, there is one committee. Codex Committee on Spice and Culinary Herbs. So there is one committee under this. What is that committee? Codex Committee on Spices and Culinary Herb. This is a committee under this particular institution. Now you can ask me okay, so we should remember this small committee also. No. We don't have to remember every small committee, but this committee is important because its secretariat is situated in India. Where it is situated in India, the Spice Board represents as the secretariat, Spice Board. So now we got the another institution, that is the Spice Board. So let's cover this Spice Board too. What is Spice Board? So here in the Spice Board we need to remember few facts. The first fact is that the Spice Board is an organization, regulatory and the promotive organization, which promotes what? Spices, production and the trade of the spices. Most important fact here is that it comes under which ministry? Remember, it comes under not agricultural ministry but Ministry of Commerce. Here you can make mistake. Students make mistake here. Remember, it comes under Ministry of Commerce. And its headquarter is in Kochi, Kerala. Sometimes UPSC have asked on the T board. T board headquarter is present in which state? You can comment it. Previously UPSC have asked this question in the prelims, like the T board headquarter. Give the answer in the comment box. Okay, so this was about this article. We have covered a significant aspect of it, and most of the questions can come from these aspects only. Another thing you can solve through logic. Next topic is the red corridor. Very important topic. This year in 2025 we have seen question in the mains on this particular topic, left wing extremism. This topic can be linked with the GS3, that is left wing extremism. It is under the internal security. You can link with this particular section of our syllabus. Now why it is in the news? It is in news because of the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi have pledged that India will be free of moist terror. That is left wing extremism, this Maoism will be eliminated from India very soon. And we know that the government have kept a target for it. Naxal Mukt Bharat, Naxal Free India by March 31st, 2026. This is a target set by the government to eliminate Naxalism from India. Now in this context, this red corridor came in the news. Now what is this red corridor? Before going into this, we need to understand this left-wing extremism. What is this Naxalism, left-wing extremism? We will discuss in very short way, comprehensively, so that one mind map will cover all aspects of this left-wing extremism. Okay, so let's cover this left-wing extremism. Now, first of all, what is this left-wing extremism? What is it? From the term you can understand here is that it is extremism which follows the left ideology. Now you can say that the left ideology can be anything, right? So you know that the ideologies generally fall into three categories, majorly falls in the left, right or the centrist. Left ideology followers are those who demand for radical change in the society. Okay, for example, Marxism is a leftist ideology. Now one form of Marxism given by the Mao Zedong from China, he gave one theory of Marxism, that is of the left ideology. His ideology was based on that in order to change the socio-political structure of the society, the working class, especially this lower class, farmers, workers, laborers, they have to grab the power. Otherwise, this capitalist class, there are two classes, right? One is the capitalist class, another is the working class, workers. Now, this capitalist class, as per the Mao and the Marx, capitalist class are inherently exploitative. So, if the workers wants their right, they are not going to give their rights. These capitalists are not going to give them their right by themselves. They have to get it. Now, the question is how they are going to get it. As per the Mao Zedong, these workers have to use the violence in order to get that power, and this ideology is called as the Maoism, to gain the power through violence, and they called it as the People's War. In India, it is called as the Naxalism. Origin, let's talk about the origin. In India it is called as the Naxalism. Same thing is called as the in India it's called as the Naxalism. Now the question is why it is called as the Naxalism in India. The reason is its location. See, if you have covered the modern history, our modern history was highly influenced, especially that 1920s was highly influenced by the left ideologies, especially the Marxism and the communism. During that period of time, even the Communist Party of India was formed by M.N. Roy. So at that point of time, the Bengal region was highly active for the left ideology. In 1967, this particular place, this place name is the Naxalbari. This place is nothing but the Naxalbari. It is in West Bengal. In which year? 1967. Some leaders like Charu Majumdar, they established the Maoism. They started killing the forest officers, even the landowners, to grab the lands from the zamindars and the big landowners. So that way they started this Naxalism. And that's why it's called as the Naxalism, because it started from the Naxalbari. Okay, so this was the background of it. So what from here what we are able to understand that the Naxalism in India, that is the Maoism in India, started from this West Bengal, started spreading in the other parts of the country, even the Kerala. So it started infecting, it started spreading in the other part of the country. And this way it created one corridor which is called as the red corridor. Now, why the red? As you know that the communist symbol is the red color symbol. You must have seen the Chinese flag, right? That's also red color because China is a communist country. You get it? What is the red corridor? Yes. Now, as per the recent report, due to the government efforts, this red corridor have started shrinking. Now, if you see, this is placed only in the few districts. The most affected district currently is only 3 districts. One is Bijapur, second is Sukma, and third is Narayanpur. I have been there in this place. I worked here for 4 years in the rural development sector with the government. So I know these places, and these are highly difficult region for the developmental point of view because of this left-wing extremism. Right? So these 3 districts are highly affected. And currently, if you see the current status, due to this government efforts through the Operation Kajan, they have given this name Black Forest. This operation, and along with the developmental initiative, government have significantly reduced the number of left-wing insurgencies and number of Naxal affected districts and the states. States like Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala, West Bengal have eliminated the Naxalism. Now they have been declared as the Naxal-free states. And currently, only 3 states, that is Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, are affected by this left-wing extremism. Okay, so that is the current status. Now, in order to achieve this current status, what initiative government have taken? What initiatives government have taken? See, government have taken multiple initiatives like the Operation Black Forest. Second, I have already told, Naxal Mukt Bharat by 2026. One of the doctrine which is very important here is called as the Samadhan doctrine. Under this Samadhan doctrine, we have mixed both the hard power and the soft power in order to have the strategy to eliminate the Naxalism, not only through the force but also through the development. So this is the use of the force as well as the force plus development initiative in order to eliminate the Naxalism, not only through the force but also by winning the hearts and minds of the people of tribal region of those affected districts. The second important aspect, initiative is the PM Juga, Prime Minister Juga. What is Juga? Juga is nothing but the Janjatiya Unnat Gram Abhiyan. What is it? It is the initiative for the holistic development of the tribal districts. The holistic development means what? It means that development in infrastructure, health, education, livelihood and other segments. And for that we have around 80,000 crore of budget. That's huge. And that shows the government's commitment to eliminate the Naxalism from India and to achieve the goal of Naxal Mukta Bharat by 2026, March 31st. Okay, so this was the article. We had discussed about this origin, what is the left-wing extremism initiative as well as the current status. Let's move to the next article, that is the LCA Tejas Mk1A. Now LCA means Light Combat Aircraft. See, one background I'm telling you, India is trying to indigenize its defense technologies and defense production to achieve the self-reliance in the defense sector. After this Russia-Ukraine war, as well as this recent conflicts growing with Pakistan, also we had the conflict, Galwan Valley we had the conflict with China. After this, the requirement to become self-reliant in the defense sector became more and more important, especially in the current circumstances. In that way, India is focusing a lot to indigenize our defense technologies. So what is the recent context? The recent context is that Honorable Defense Minister Rajnath Singh have inaugurated the third production line of LCA Tejas Mk1A. Where? In the Nasik. See, this fact is not important, just it's the context only. But what is important is the LCA Tejas Mk1A. What is this? See, few facts you need to remember. First thing, what it is. First thing is that it is a 4.5 generation aircraft, fighter aircraft. 4.5 generation. It's not 5th generation. Remember, UPSC have asked question on it. Which among the following countries have 5th generation fighter aircrafts? India does not have any 5th generation fighter aircraft till today, but we are trying to develop. So this is 4.5 generation aircraft. Okay. Now second factor is that it's a single engine aircraft. Okay, single engine aircraft. Third fact is that it is indigenously developed. By whom? By HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, in collaboration with the DRDO, Indian Air Force. They collaborated and they have developed this particular aircraft. Now the next important thing here is that what is the significance? What is the significance of this particular aircraft development? It is significant because, as I said, it is important to become self-reliant country in the defense sector. And some impact we can see that India was having, in 2014, India used to import around 65% of its defense requirement. Now 65% of its defense requirement are being filled by the indigenous production, domestic production. So that is one of the another significance. Third significance is that it can replace the old MiG-21. It can replace it. MiG-21 we have taken from the Russia. Now it has become old. Now the LCA Tejas can replace this. Okay, so that way it is significant. Let's go to the next article. That is a global burden of disease report. Now it's a global. Second, it is related to disease. Now you can guess it that the who must be involved here. It is here the involvement is of WHO is very important. So here there was the context is that the latest global burden of disease report has been launched in the World Health Summit. Now this World Health Summit took place in Berlin. Again, not important where it took place, just to have the context. So during this a report has been published. So we need to know that what are the key findings. Key findings of the report. This is important. We can use in our mains value addition points. One point we need to remember, that's a drastic change, you must be aware, like now around 2/3 of total death is being caused by the non-communicable diseases, like the cardiovascular diseases, heart diseases, and the brain related diseases, and you know that the diabetes and other related diseases are causing the 2/3. Even in India, the number of deaths due to the non-communicable diseases, especially the heart diseases, are rising. In 1990s in India, infectious diseases like diarrhea was the major cause of death. Now that has shifted towards what? Non-communicable diseases. So that is the major change we are again having. Okay. So next important point is life expectancy. Life expectancy also have grown from what to what? From 58 years in 1990 to 71.5 years in 2023. And here also, if you want to divide the men and women, can you guess who will be having the more life expectancy, men or women? Men have the lower life expectancy than the women. Men have 70, however the women have 72.96, that is almost around 73. This is women, this is men. Okay, so these are the facts. This much is only important from this, what I found like the useful in our mains as well as the prelims examination. This is only useful, the rest are not that important. Okay, next topic is the places in the news Venezuela. Now why it is in the news? Venezuela is in news because see this map first, this map. See what is happening is that the USA is building its military, it's the navy around this Arabian Sea. This is Arabian Sea, this is South America, this is North America. Here you have the US, North America, this is South America. Now here you have the Caribbean Sea. In the Caribbean Sea, USA is building up its navy and attacking some of the ships of Venezuela. Here you have the Venezuela. See this, Venezuela. Now what is happening is that Venezuela is started building its military around the Colombo border. It's building up its military, and that's why this Venezuela came into the news. And from this map you can see that the Venezuela is bordered around this is Pacific Ocean, right? And here you have the Caribbean Sea. Here it have the bordering country Venezuela, and the Colombo is in the this western side, then in the southern Brazil, then the Guyana is in the eastern side. Okay, so this is Guyana, this is Brazil, and this is the Colombo. These are the bordering countries of Venezuela. Okay, so this is the Venezuela. Some other features, geographical features are available here. You see in the map. Here you have the Amazon jungle, and Andes mountain is also there. Capital is the Caracas. This is Caribbean Sea, as I already mentioned. Okay, more details are not that important. Okay, so that much we need to know. We know the context now, and we know the location of Venezuela. Next, in the continuation of the same article, there is another important place, that is the Darien Gap. See, this gap is very important and interesting. Have you watched one movie called as a Donkey? See, this movie is Shahrukh Khan's movie in Bollywood. Recently, I think 2 years back or 1 year back it came. It was based on the illegal entry to the other country, especially the European and the US, not through the valid visa, through the illegal routes basically. And such routes are called as the donkey routes. And you must have heard about these kind of thing, like the migrants are trying to cross the border of US, they're trapped, like that. Those news you must have heard. Darien Gap is such a gap here. See this. Let me clean this. Now, this location you understood, right? Now see, there are high distress around this Saudi, you can say that in the South American country, even in the African and the Asian country. Here you have the Africa, right? From Africa they are trying to come to this countries like Venezuela, Colombo, and they are trying to pass this particular gap. Here you have the Darien Gap, this particular region. So they will enter to the Colombo, and through the Darien Pass they will move towards this Mexico, and from this Mexico they will try to enter USA. So this is the route, and this is also called as the donkey routes, and they pass through the Darien Gap. Thousands and lakhs of the people are trying to cross this very, very difficult terrain, but still they want to go to the United States, or through this they want to go to the Canada, so they can have the better lifestyle. That is their thinking, and in that process many are losing their life also. As you know that under the Trump regime, Trump is highly anti-immigrant, especially against the illegal immigrants. So he is trying to have some pressure over this so that this flow of migrants into the USA can be stopped. So this particular location is called as the Darien Gap. You understood the context and you understood the reason why they are going there, because of the conflicts in the other parts of the world and the lack of standard of living there. Okay, so this was the news regarding the Darien Gap. Now next is our mains discussion, that is the better global governance led by the China and India. Now in this article, the writers talks about some very, very important reasoning about why India and China together can facilitate the better global governance in the world. Right? Why this this became in the news, or the why we are talking about this? We are talking about this because of the 75th anniversary of diplomatic ties between the India and the China. We are celebrating the 75th anniversary, India and China. Secondly, 80th anniversary of United Nations formation. So this is the global governance, and this is India and China. Both together can facilitate the global governance, better global governance. The third background here is that in 25th SCO summit, where 25th SCO summit which took place in China, there India plus China both talked about the you can say that the reformed global governance, and China presented one global governance initiative presented by the China. It provided a new framework for the international cooperation. Okay, now writer gives some reason why India and China should come together. The first reason he gives is that India-China relations changing. How he justifies? The justification he gives is that recently, we can say between 2014 to 2024, the top leaders have met 18 times. This is significant numbers. So that shows the significance of both countries. The head of the state have met 18 times. Recently, they have met in the BRICS 2024 in Kazan, in the 16th BRICS summit in Russia. Recently, they met in the SCO summit in China. Okay, so diplomatically they are keep on engaging, except that Galwan incident and then those incident, they are keep in touch with each other, and they try to rebuild their relationship. So there is a positivity here. Positive sign is there between the India and China currently, as per the writer. Second aspect the writer says is that, see, the both countries are the advocate of the multipolarity, which is against the Western centered global order. They are against the Western centered global order. They want where the multiple powers are there. However, here the criticism is also there. China is slowly trying to make it more China centered global order. However, as per the writer, this China and India both are challenging the Western centered global order, right? Next is that both have the shared responsibility for the Asia centricity, Asian century, as well as the global south. Both have the responsibility in order to facilitate this growth of, for the development of the Asia as well as the global south. So both have this responsibility to facilitate it, right? Now, so this way, these are the reasoning why the writer is saying that both China and India have the foundation. They have the huge demographic leverage. They are economically superpower, the second largest economy and the fourth largest economy. So both are the military power, both have the soft power, so both can collaborate in order to bring reform in the United Nations as well as the other multilateral institutions, right? However, challenges are also there. Challenges like both have the bilateral disputes, border disputes, trade deficit between India and China is really high. It's in the favor of China. Then there are the trade barriers, China's closeness with Pakistan, and double standard regarding this terrorism, listing of terrorism, Masood Azhar case, we know that. So these kind of the challenges will hinder the India and China efforts, the collaborative efforts to bring the global governance reforms. However, it is the interest of not only the both countries but also in the interest of the world, especially the global south, that both these big countries, that is the India and China, should come together and lead the reforms in the global governance system. With this, we will close today's discussion. Thank you so much.